Hey guys, welcome back to another great conversation on the Good Place Bench, part of the Placemaking Europe Week Festival. We're here for 3 days, talking to the community, and to hear more about them, their work, their vision on the topic, and with the goal to really find out like how we can create a good place together. So, I have some conversation cards. Where are you from? And of course, who you are. And what makes your city a good place?
Hi, I'm very excited to talk to you. My name is Katya, and I'm originally from Russia. And for the last 7 years, I've been living in Berlin, in the neighborhood called Weißensee. And what was the question?
What makes Berlin or Weissensee a good place?
Well, I think it's about the people. And for example, when I moved to Weißensee, I was honestly not very excited about moving there because it seems to be quite a boring place.
Okay.
But after many years, I think I feel very connected to the people, to my neighbors, to my colleagues in the neighborhoods, and this is what makes me feel very comfy and to feel at home in that place. And I don't know, the moment you leave your house and you just greet people in the street all the time, you just feel like, wow, I'm part of this place, and I'm very excited to be here.
They embrace you.
Sure.
Very good. And what has brought you to Placemaking Europe? All the way from Berlin.
Yeah, all the way. I've heard about this event for the last 3 years, and since I'm also very connected to placemaking in a broader sense, I felt that I want to be here as well to get inspiration and build connections with different people.
Okay.
And I think as many placemakers, I also wear a lot of hats of how I interact with the city and how I work with the city. For example, I'm very curious about so-called empty spaces or places that are in very strong transformation. For example, in Berlin, these are cemeteries. We have over 150 cemeteries in Berlin, and around half of them are empty or not in use. And now there is a plan to transform them into green spaces or places where they can build things.
Okay.
And I'm very curious to see and follow this transformation as well.
Very interesting, because ties also into what you do. I mean, in a sense, how you approach me as a fellow podcast maker. So tell us a bit more about your work.
Yeah, so as my hobby, I run...
Sorry, it's your hobby. Correction.
I run a podcast called Berlin Bones. And it's a podcast about Berlin cemeteries in a very also broad sense, where I just talk about this transformation of cemeteries, approach it from different perspectives, of course from this urban planning point of view, but also from perspective of culture and sociology and religion. Mm-hmm. So because you can tell a lot about the Berlin life and how, like, what Berlin is about, just looking at the cemeteries and what's happening there.
And I'm just instantly curious, how did you come to this idea, and where do you get that insight from?
So I was sitting on the bench.
Already like Katya so much.
Thank you. But honestly, I think a lot of people in Berlin spend a lot of time on the cemeteries, use cemeteries as spaces for calmness and some sort of meditation and break. And there are a lot of benches where people sit and, I don't know, read books, meditate, have a picnic or their morning coffee. And I think that was one of the moments when I realized that cemeteries in Berlin are a very special place.
It's interesting to think that is a place for quietness.
Yeah, cemeteries on the whole, I don't know about cemeteries in many other countries, but I think in Berlin They are particularly known for being very green, very diverse when it comes to wildlife or when it comes to just vegetation. So I think just a lot of people use it as parks, basically.
Wow. So, are they also be used to as a social function? You think?
Actually, this summer I was also running an exhibition with 7 other female artists, and where I created a pop-up cafe where we also had a lot of conversations and discussions on where the cemeteries are heading to. And also there are a lot of cemetery cafes. I will be happy to invite you over to one of them.
Yes, please.
And a lot of people actually use it as a place to connect, not only to the dead ones, but also to the other people, to other citizens.
You think there's room for a good place bench at a cemetery in Berlin?
For sure.
Because that's also one question: is that you are in a good place bench? I mean, I would love to hear what you think of it. And secondly, since you're such a public bench enthusiast, how does your perfect good place bench would look like?
It's hard. But I think it could be a very spacious bench where you can just also lean over and have a short nap. That would be perfect.
Nice. I'm also doing a shout out to Ramon from Placemaking Europe. He once said on a podcast episode that the best place in public bench, or the best places in the public space, is where you can do a siesta.
I totally relate.
So that's not only in Valencia, but it's also in Berlin. Nice. What are you hoping to take from this festival, as in inspiration or ideas that you can take home with, in relation to the cemeteries in Berlin?
Well, it's hard to relate the contents of placemaking Europe to cemeteries only. But on the whole, I think
Sorry. What are you hoping to achieve from it?
Yes. On the whole, I think I really look for some new insights or new ideas that can sparkle maybe new directions in what I do. Because I don't know, I've heard some things about different theories, or theory of change or inclusion, and I think these are small things that really can lead to discovering new areas. So I think that's generally this, and also it's my first time in Rotterdam.
Okay.
And yesterday I went on a city tour around the center, and I was very amazed by the architecture. Yeah. It's sometimes also as random as Berlin architecture, and I think it also gives you a lot of inspiration on how you can approach the architecture and how you can approach the whole idea of the city development.
Have you visited any cemeteries here in Rotterdam?
Not yet. Can you recommend some?
I have no idea. So maybe as a close-off for this chat, is that what is it that people could help you with? As in, maybe there's a question you want to raise, that something you're looking for that people can respond to and get in touch with you about.
If we go back to the topic of cemeteries, of course, I'm always curious to maybe connect to also other people from other cultures or cities, and see if we can also start some sort of a think tank or a discussion about the future of cemeteries. But it also generally, I think, for me, it's very interesting to look at the. I live in Weissensee, in a small community, and I think for me it's very interesting to see this process of gentrification versus improving things in neighborhoods, like how you can make sure that improving things doesn't lead to gentrification and the higher costs and like more vulnerability of the local community. So it's, for me, it's also like one of the burning questions because I see a lot of transformation in this neighborhood and in Berlin in general. So it's like how your work, how to make sure that your work actually doesn't contribute to gentrification.
That's a final statement and question. Thank you, Katya, for your time. Wishing you a great time here in Rotterdam.
Thank you so much.
And for everyone watching and listening, until the next one. Bye.